my week this week. So our computer systems for work updated over the weekend. Well, naturally, mine didn't do right. So Monday morning, I get logged in and I'm going to start practicing a system that I have to use, and it doesn't work. It just crashes. I was like, it was the one I'm trying to learn right now. So I was like, well, so I started a ticket and I finally get someone to link up to my computer, and try to fix it. And he can't fix it. And while he has control of my computer, I messaged my brother from my phone, but on Microsoft Teams. I was explaining, oh my gosh, this isn't working, and naturally he's not getting it fixed. And so my brother responds saying how bad the IT is, but it pops up on my laptop that he has control of. So the guy could see it, which he wasn't really saying like horrible things, but just like, I wish they were a little bit better, that type of thing. So that was awkward. And then the guy's like, all right, I can't do it. I'm just going to send you over to Tech 2, and I feel like part of that was because he probably got a little butthurt over that.
I'm confused.
About what?
So somebody was able to, IT was looking at your screen?
Yeah. They remote into your computer and then
remote
they just
into your
computer.
computer.
And then you were talking to your brother via.
I was using Teams on my phone because he was on my computer, and then I didn't think about the fact my notifications pop up on my computer.
I have something similar, but at work, so we have this giant 9-panel TV wall. And we can put our screens up on it. So we normally have like a news channel, the weather channel, and then we'll put like 2 of our screens up. And I had one of my screens up, and me and one of my coworker were talking about another person who works in the office. And that person like walked in, and my friend was like, oh, this person again, because he didn't know that screen was. Oh God. So Microsoft Teams is going to be the death of all of us.
Yeah. Oh, so it took like 2 or 3 days before they finally get my stuff fixed so that I can use the program that I needed to use. Okay. Finally get it fixed. They had to remote in, I think Wednesday morning was when they finally, tier 2 was able to get to me. So it was like Wednesday morning. He had to remote in for like 2.5 to 3 hours to fix my computer. That's how bad it was messed up. So then Friday, I'm working, morning's going great, everything's doing great. And my computer's like, an update has been downloaded. I'm like, oh, or installed or whatever. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Because it didn't prompt me, to restart. And I go to use the program that I've been using all morning long, and it crashes. And I was like, what in the world? So I'll go ahead and restart my computer because I'm like, well, I just saw that it installed something. I'll go ahead and restart. Maybe that's the issue. And that program won't work. And I was going to deal with it Friday, and I was like, fuck this shit. I'll wait till Monday. I'm not dealing with this. It's hard. I'm not about to try and get IT again. And I'm just not. Maybe they'll have another update over the weekend and it'll fix it. I don't know. But
my favorite office kind of thing is that you're allowed to get so mad at people who email you on Friday afternoons. Like my office has agreed that like anybody that emails afternoon on a Friday is a jerk. I don't care what you need. If you email me on a Friday afternoon, screw you. Like, how dare you?
I would be the type to do that, but I'm a workaholic.
Speaking
what? You people don't want to work? We've still got 32 minutes left.
You're like, there's 30 seconds left in the workday.
Yeah.
So you're that person where somebody was like, I got an email at 4:57 on Friday, and then at 8:28 in the morning on Monday, they said, I emailed you 3 days ago and you have not responded. You're like, you emailed me 30
I actually did that on
ago.
Friday with my brother because I was like, hey, I sent you this draft. Did you review it? And he was like, what? No, why would I do that? It's Friday. I was like,
you don't work
what?
on Friday.
And then he went back in our messages to each other where he had even said, send me the draft and I'll check it over on Monday. But I didn't see that part. I was busy looking at the message he'd sent after that where he was like, this project, blah, blah, this project, blah, blah, so then I'm like, what? And so he
No, you're-
sent me that, and I was like, oh.
You're there on Fridays, but you're not there on Fridays. You'll learn. One day it'll hit you and you'll get, because it takes time, because like you work from home and you go and change, you're like, no, I should be working 24/7. They're gonna think I'm not productive. And then like as the years go on, you're like, oh, nobody works. Like everybody just picks a day that they're just like, I just can't today. My work got a little message board. And so I've been updating it every day with like cute phrases. And it's like, it's super annoying because it's one of those ones with the little white.
Oh
like,
my God.
Yeah, no, it's horrible and I hate it, but nobody else does it. And I'm like, okay, so I'm on Pinterest. Like, what are some cute things to put on this board?
Oh, I used to do, I think me and the IT guy at the call center, they had a dry erase board in our cafeteria break room thing. And we would update it with Chuck Norris facts or quotes.
I love
Ooh,
those
smart.
so much.
It was like Chuck Norris.
Superman wears Chuck Norris pajamas.
Yeah, like different Chuck Norris things every day.
That's
That
what,
was
maybe
fun.
I'll start doing that. Just like pick a theme for the week and just do it.
Yeah.
Like,
See, you
I mean,
guys
we
have
don't really-
fancy jobs. I don't get to do this shit that y'all get to do.
I mean, maybe one day if you try hard and
Oh, I
know the
forgot
right
to
people.
submit that near miss.
When we have automated trucks, I can drive it from home. That'd be sweet.
There you go. I mean, they're working on that technology.
Speaking of emails, I've got to send that email this weekend.
What email?
Do you want me to do it for you?
No, but he's in the office.
Stop it.
He's coming down.
That email.
His office is in Missouri, and so he's always there. He's hardly ever down here, and so but he'll be here Monday. So I'm really
No,
wondering.
send the email on Tuesday then.
Yeah.
That's what. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Next Friday will be my last Friday.
That's what I was thinking. God,
Yeah.
that's causing me so much anxiety. I was told that I can reset my stomach because I'm pretty sure I've stretched it out quite a bit. So I was told I could I could kind of
Just fast.
undo it, like by just going back to my diet from whenever I had my surgery to begin with. So like just go back to protein shakes and protein bars for about a week or two. That sounds horrible.
I like the protein shakes that I have. My only issue,
I love it. I just had to live off them for months.
yeah, my only issue is if I don't chew something, I feel like I haven't eaten. So like when I was doing the soft foods for my wisdom teeth, it was driving me crazy and I kept cheating because I'm like, I need to
You
physically
need something
chew
with
something.
sustenance. Like is the word sustenance?
Well, no, I was eating stuff. Like I was eating like pureed vegetables and stuff like that. And,
Yeah,
like,
but that has no
soup and stuff.
sustenance. It doesn't take up any space within your belly.
It's
You
liquid
need something
space.
that takes up space.
No, it had nothing. Like I wasn't hungry. It was literally just like I needed to chew
Something for the walls to mash into.
Oh, I got
Liquid just kind of squeezes out of the
something
way.
gets stuck in your teeth.
Yeah, like I don't know. It was one of those things. It's the same thing. Like I need to eat something hot during the day, or I don't feel like I've eaten. Like, and that was screwing me up for a long time with trying to like eat because I'm like, oh, I haven't eaten at all today. I should eat 12 things from McDonald's. And I'm like, oh no, you dumb bitch. Like all you have was cold stuff. Like there was nothing hot. So I just assumed that I hadn't eaten that day. But it was in fact just that
All
like
that I eat all week long are those chicken and a biscuit crackers and baked
Oh,
potatoes.
that's what I forgot on my orders.
you forgot to get the chicken and biscuit crackers.
Yes, I got
Those are
cheese
so
and
good.
shit though.
I eat like 2 family boxes of those during the week while I'm working.
I have Cheez-Its. I got Cheez-Its and Doritos.
And then if I decide
Oh.
to actually eat a lunch, I'll make a baked potato in the microwave.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I eat
Damn
other than
it.
dinner.
Forgot.
You forgot a lot of stuff, it sounds like.
I
Gonna
I
have to
bet
do a second order.
no, I believe I have until a certain time to add to it.
Whoa.
A judge tried to deny a teen's abortion partly because of her GPA. So, in 38 states, including Florida, you are required to notify parents when a minor wants an abortion, and they must consent to it. So this Florida teen was seeking an abortion under the reasoning that she is not yet financially stable and she wants to live on her own first. She also stated that she planned to join the military before going to college for nursing. And she said that her parents would definitely not consent to the abortion, which is why she went to the courts to be able to get one without her parents' consent. A Florida circuit judge blocked her abortion because he said her GPA was too low. She did appeal this, and in a 2-1 ruling was found mature enough to earn what's known as a judicial bypass, which allows her to get the abortion without involving the parents.
Wait a minute.
Now, this is what the original judge said. So the original judge focused on the fact that the teen said that she made B grades, but her GPA was a 2.0, stating that a B average would not equal a 2.0, and said that this evidences a lack of intelligence or credibility, both of which speak to her level of maturity. The appeals judges pointed out that if she is currently making Bs, then the GPA may not reflect that yet, and that a C average student would still demonstrate intelligence as a high school student.
Wait, he was declining the abortion because
her GPA was a 2.0. And he said that she lacks emotional credibility. It gets worse, you guys.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
You're too dumb to ever do anything else.
They may be onto
this
something.
This is your
though.
only thing.
They may be
you
onto
can just be a
something,
mom.
though.
That's it.
Yeah.
They may be onto something though. Like you make it to where yes, you can have an abortion.
No, he's saying that she has to have a baby because her GPA is so low.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You need to say if you want an abortion, you have to have straight A's.
That's crazy. Anyway, though, but that's not all. That's not the only reason he turned her down. The original judge also stated that she shouldn't get an abortion because she doesn't care for any younger family members to evaluate her emotional maturity level. The judgment panel.
Yet another reason she should have one.
It says they were like, well, she doesn't have any siblings to care for. So like, how can you fault her for not caring for younger siblings when she doesn't have any? The original judge also said that she's never had any financial responsibilities like paying for her own bills.
Which is more of a reason to let her do it.
So he also says, so then the appeals judges
pointed out should not be a judge.
So the appeals judges pointed out that she works 20 hours a week and has $1,600 in savings with 2 credit cards. And she pays for all of her stuff except for her phone bill, which is her only bill. So some other reasons that denials in that state have been like allowed was the pregnancy was an accident, which proves that they are too immature for an abortion. And another claim that a girl in foster care shouldn't get an abortion because she is financially dependent on her parents. And the judge also said, well, it's okay for them to give their children up for adoption. You don't need a judge for that. And
yeah, you do actually.
Well, they said a judge
you do.
Well, no, but it's like a judge doesn't have to approve you giving your child up. And then they said like a court isn't needed to determine the underlying psychological or emotional impact of giving up a child.
The fact that a judge is even involved in this is complete bullshit to begin with. Like this should be between that girl and her doctor and nobody else.
So that's why I
maybe the father of the child. That's the only other person that I think should.
The child's father and
role.
His parents are for it. The child's father and his parents both are like, yes, get an abortion if that's what you want. Her parents are the ones that like wouldn't consent. Her parents are the consent that's needed. But it's important to note too, the judge that originally denied her abortion shouldn't have seen this case in the beginning because he introduced a ban for abortions at after 15 weeks. So if you have somebody that is actively pro-choice to the point where he introduced a bill, why is he seeing abortion cases at all?
Pro-life.
Yes, pro-life. But yeah, I thought it was so crazy that like she has a 2.0 average, so obviously she's not smart enough to get an abortion.
I had a 1.6 in high school.
And she's not smart enough to procreate.
And like that was the craziest part. It was like all of these reasons, like she has a low GPA, so you want to put a child on that because yeah, her GPA will definitely go up while caring for an infant. Like, and the same thing with like working and all that stuff is like she like clearly stated she wants to go to college, she wants to join the military, she wants to be a nurse. That doesn't show emotional maturity and like planning for her future.
I think if the judge says no, the judge should be willing to adopt the child. Anyone who
yeah.
wants to step in the way of a woman making that decision should have to sign up to adopt that child if they decide not to keep the child.
But this is
Yeah.
a perfect time for a PSA as well. People, the pull-out method does not work. If you don't want a baby, wear a condom.
Okay,
That
but
would
there
be my
is,
view.
you should wear a condom. However, there is something too where like certain medications interact with birth control. So there is instances where like people didn't know and they get pregnant, but it was just so crazy that like,
Even on birth control, you should wear rubbers.
well, I
They're
know
not-
you
they're not
should, but like
just
some people
for-
don't because they think that they're being safe because they're on birth control. So it was just
birth
absolutely
control
insane to
don't-
me.
Don't save you
I
from things that
want
make
to
your
introduce a
hoo-ha
bill
ooze.
saying that anyone who stops an abortion should be required to adopt that child.
You should. I think that you should make that bill.
I'm gonna look into that.
You should. Because it's crazy. Like, how can you honestly like sit there and be like, oh, you're 17, you need to have this child? You can just give it up for abortion. It's fine. It's like,
Adoption.
sorry.
Give it up for abortion.
Listen, you should
I'm
give it up for
trying, but they
abortion.
won't let me.
Right.
Yeah, because like that was the craziest thing. They're like, they don't understand the emotional toll that an abortion takes. It's like, do you not understand how much of an emotional toll it takes to give your child up for
both
adoption?
of them are absolute. Whether you keep the child, whether you give the child up for adoption, or
It's
whether
an
you get an
emotional
abortion,
toll.
they're all insanely emotional.
At the
things
end of the
you have to do.
day, children suck. No, I'm just joking. I love
Children suck, don't have them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that story literally broke my brain because I couldn't imagine a world where a judge can go, your grades are too low, you can't get an abortion.
Your grades are too low, so you
I could see the
deserve to
exact
be a
opposite.
parent.
Your grades are too
Like
high.
I've always thought you should have to have an IQ test to be
Yes.
a parent, not
I agree.
have an IQ test, and if you're below it, then you're a parent. Like, what in the hell is wrong with this guy?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
assuming it's a
literally
guy. It
just-
very well may be a woman. You never
That
know.
whole
what-
topic. That whole.
It was. It
topic
was a
is
male
A
judge.
slippery slope.
Yeah, it was a male judge, and it was just like absolutely crazy. And then reading that he introduced an abortion ban bill, you're like, you should have recused yourself. Like, how dare you? And the craziest part about that too was that in the appeals, there are 3 appeals judges. One of them still voted that she shouldn't get an abortion. It was a vote of 2-1, so she was able to get it. But one of those judges in the appeals court was still like, no, this guy made a lot of valid points. No.
Then I think it should be, if legislators are voting against abortion, they should be required to donate, or a portion
Yeah.
of their wages go toward foster care.
Yeah. There should be something
Support
like,
those children that you want born.
yeah, 'cause, like if you are actively
Like, that's
standing in the
fine.
way.
If you're pro-life, then you'll be happy to help support those children.
Yeah.
I just don't give a shit enough. I don't give enough shits about people to care what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's yeah.
I completely support abortion
I do too. Yeah.
up until 3 months after the baby's born.
I think if they have to go in there and
Totally.
laser cut the child, if they have to go up there with a laser and cut the child into pieces, I don't like that. I don't
No,
know. Do they do it by laser or do they
I
actually
think
do
that
it
there
by
is,
like
that one,
sawzall?
if it's viable, easily viable outside of the womb, I think that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But unless it's one of those things where it's not going to live and the mother's not going to live if you keep it in there,
There's-
obviously.
There was one woman I recently read an article where they made her carry her baby who had died, and she actually ended up going into like the toxic shock or whatever, because like she was carrying a dead baby because they wouldn't let her get it out. They were like, oh no, you have to carry it to term because an abortion. It's like, it's dead. Take it out.
This brings up I want to ask your guys' opinion on. So have you guys seen the TikTok lady who is fighting her husband's mother on ending her husband's life? Because he went to jail. He went to jail, I think it was like 2 years ago,
Mhm.
I think it's
You
been
know, that's just
it's been
second playing.
it's been a few years. Anyways, he went to jail and he tried to hang himself, and he survived. Okay, but he's completely brain dead. Like he is a literal vegetable. Like he can't eat. Like he's literally been like in a vegetative state for years now, and his mom will not let him go, you know? So
Yeah.
they're in a legal battle. His wife and his mom are in a legal battle and she's trying to let him, you know, his wife is trying to let him just go because there's absolutely no quality of life whatsoever. I mean, he's alive, but he's literally just
He's physically alive,
he's
but he's
physically
not
alive, but he's
alive.
dead.
They
Yeah.
had that's just like the case from I want to say the 90s, and I can't remember what the name was, but it was like Shivo was the last name, but it was the exact same situation. This woman was in a vegetative state. They confirmed she was never going to wake up. Her husband was like I don't, they may have just been engaged, but he was like she didn't want to live like this, and the parents were like, no, we're going to keep her alive forever. I think that the wife should get to choose, and especially
Well,
because
that's what I'm confused about. Is doesn't she automatically have the
I think it's a gray area, but I think too the fact that he hung himself, like this wasn't an accident that like he was, you know, in a car accident and he was brain dead because of that, and like nobody was expecting. He tried to kill himself. He did want to die, and I
Right.
get it that it is like hard, but I would side with the wife on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of dead people, an Irishman dragged his dead uncle to a post office to claim his pension. So what happened was two men
Like
went to a
Weekend at
post
Bernie's?
office. Huh?
Like a Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, it was actually that's what they compared it to. So two men went to a post office to collect the man's pension. It was one of their uncles, and they were denied because the guy wasn't with them. So they returned later carrying his body between them. The guy had a jumper over his face and a hat on his head.
Top of the morning to you.
Yeah, so the workers questioned if the man was okay, and then allegedly the two men placed him on the floor and claimed he was having a heart attack. The nephew denies the charge that like they brought a dead man to the post office. The postmortem exam does show that there was no signs of foul play. He said that when they left the house, he didn't realize his uncle had passed. He said his uncle was frail, weighing only 6 or 7 stone, which I want to say is around 100 pounds. It's between 80 to 100. And he needed to be carried anywhere he went anyway. He said that he believes his uncle died on the bridge because his legs had gone limp, but they didn't realize he had died because this has happened before. And the police believe that the man may have died up to 3 hours before the incident took place. So
They're like, shit, we need to go get paid before we bury this guy.
yeah, like how do you bring a dead man into the post office and be like, here he is, money, please?
That's just sad on that they're that strapped for money that going through the death of their uncle, they're like, we need money. We're gonna have to carry him in.
Yeah.
Well, see, it's just like over here, like it makes no sense. Like, did you know that if somebody passes away and there is a life insurance claim, and let's say that money, that life insurance goes to who they chose, okay, and then and then you know, of course, the person that it goes to, if there's something happens to them, it goes to the next in line, okay. Well, apparently I didn't realize this, but if it goes to the person it's supposed to go to, and then something happens to them and it goes to the next person, if something happens to them, it goes back into the insurance company's pockets, I guess. I don't know.
That's weird.
It can't. I don't know how it works, but that's how in an instance, in a situation I've been in, it's like, it's either I pull the money, or if I leave it to gain interest where it's at, and if something should happen to me, it doesn't get dispersed between my children. It just goes away.
You can also take out a life insurance policy on anybody that you want. Like I could take out a life insurance policy on you and nobody would question it.
Really?
Like, yeah.
I think you should.
Yeah, I think you should.
I don't care.
But yeah, like
let's get one on each other.
yeah, it's a weird, life insurance is super weird. And yeah, it is a very sad story. It's a weird story though, with like I didn't know that you had to like physically go and get these. I thought it was just like a check that was sent out. And then at some point the government realizes like, hey, this person died. We should probably stop sending checks. I guess Ireland is different, but
Well,
you hear
if
stories
they
all-
hadn't been reported as dead yet.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like they had to physically go and get it. So like in like America, I'm pretty sure we send the check. So like it would have just been sent.
Isn't most everything
Like my
direct deposited?
granny, when she got Social Security, it was just direct deposited into her bank.
Yeah, I say everything's
Yeah.
direct deposit anymore, ain't it?
Yeah. So, but apparently not over there. Apparently there you have to get in person, which is
Well,
good.
I'm
in
sure
some
you
instances.
can get it mailed.
Oh, okay.
And he was probably old fashioned or something.
You
and he liked
can,
to
you
take a
can,
check.
you
Yeah,
can,
you can.
you can
Okay.
opt in to have it mailed. Yes.
But yeah, this one you had to like specifically go and pick it up. But I guess maybe it
I
was
mean,
just
they're
being held
probably
at the
that way
post
here
office.
too,
So
so that you can't say you didn't receive it.
yeah. A computer has predicted the exact year that society will collapse. So apparently this was a study done back in the 70s where scientists used computer modeling to predict the fall of society. And they were from MIT. They looked at data patterns from different factors like population, national resources, and energy usage. And they said that society will collapse
32.
around 2040.
Oh,
No, pretty close.
Damn it. So we're gonna be alive still? Son of a bitch.
Yes, and still working. I won't even be retired. So they said that this was disputed by a different team of researchers in 2009 who conducted a similar study, but then they concluded that actually, no, this is pretty spot on. And
Define
then
collapse.
I don't,
but
They
they didn't
didn't-
factor
they
in
didn't
the
factor-
years that Donald Trump was president, though.
they did not. Well,
So it's probably, I'm probably right. It's probably 32.
yeah, so then a Dutch sustainability researcher said that the current data aligns with the 1972 study, and that we do have a chance to kind of give ourselves more years, but it means that we would have to be more innovative with our choices in business, new developments, government, civil society, which obviously is not something that we're willing to do. So but I assume the collapse of society is just going to be no resources. There have been studies that said that what was it? That the water supply is going to run out. I don't remember what year, it was a year in the future, but there's only so much drinkable water on the planet because we have not found a way to filter the salt out of salt water.
Which is
So-
just blows my mind.
Yeah, because when we were in school, we did that thing where you make salt water and you sit in the sun and you let it evaporate onto the thread that's hanging on your pencil, and you get these like crystals of salt on it. So can't we just do that? Just evaporate the water and
Well, you
collect
know
the
that we
water
don't
and
support
stuff?
solar energy in this country.
We can create a straw that we can literally go to a muddy swamp hole and drink it through a straw, and it'll make it like clean water, but we can't filter salt out of
Yes,
something that covers 80% of the earth.
correct.
It blows my mind.
Lies, all
I,
lies.
I think that the technology does exist. The problem is that it's probably not cost effective to do. It's the same thing with like fusion technology. I believe that you can do fusion technology now, but they said that it's not cost effective because it would mean that you would have to stop giving money to oil companies. And obviously the oil companies control the entire world. And they're like, oh no, we can't possibly have this. Fusion's garbage. You don't want that.
Well, it's the
So-
it's the same reason we don't use Tesla's, thing for electricity. You know what I mean? Not Elon Musk Tesla, but like the Nikolai Tesla. Same reason why we don't, because electricity we could have for absolutely nothing if
Yeah.
we wanted. But
Yeah. It's all money, and we do have like the option to sustain ourselves, but we're not going to. This next one is one that I don't particularly agree with. This woman on, again, TikTok, said that women should not pay 50-50 for dates. And her reasoning behind it is essentially that women aren't 50-50 people in the world. And so they shouldn't pay 50-50 on dates. And I just don't like that it's just a weird stance. Like she said,
I just don't like my dates to pay anyways.
We'll see. And she's saying basically that women don't get equal pay, so they shouldn't have to pay for dates because we aren't paid equally. So
That's
we're at a
ridiculous.
disadvantage.
70 cents on every dollar.
Yeah. So she said, like, it's not equal in how safe we feel out in the world, how much space we're allowed to take up in the world. So I do agree with that like women are not paid equally. We don't have the same level of safety in the world. And also women are not allowed to take up as much space in the world as men are. But she said making men pay for all of the dates is equal rights. And I just think that that's a weird stance. But she said that like in the end of the video, she's like, make his pockets hurt. And I don't, in a dating scenario, it just seems weird to me that you'd be like, okay, this person is potentially my soulmate. We could potentially be in a relationship. I'm going to start off this relationship by demanding that he pays for everything.
Here's your red flag.
Yeah, that was exactly what I saw. I was like, if he wants to pay for it, okay. But like to demand that he pay for it because women don't make as much. And then she said too, like, you know, if the woman makes more, obviously she should pay. But it's like, well, then let's just do a sliding scale. You can't say women shouldn't pay for dates at all because of equality and then be like, well, there's exceptions. Like, no, just do what's right for you. I don't like that. And that was an article that just did not sit right with me. So the last two actually go together. And it's about self-care. So America Ferrera talked about the biggest self-care lie that moms are told. And that lie is that getting to take an uninterrupted shower is taking care of yourself. And I have heard this from like, you know, tons of moms that they're like, oh, I got to take a shower by myself. I got to poop by myself. Like, this is a good day. And she's like, that's a basic human need. That's not self-care. So she said, she spent a morning alone. She made herself breakfast. She ate it while it was still hot. She listened to a podcast. She worked out uninterrupted, and she took a hot shower alone. And she's like, by mom standards, this was, you know, an exception. This wasn't something that ever happens, and I should feel so lucky. And she goes, these are basic human needs that everybody else gets to enjoy. And it's not right that like moms are seen as they shouldn't get to eat hot meals and like shower uninterrupted. And I know, like, Lindsay, you always have, you know, people running around.
Yeah,
you.
but I mean, if I really want my kids to feel like they're not allowed to come in, I will lock the door and be like, no, you're not allowed to come in.
My showers are
I've
at
set
4:30 in the morning.
that they're allowed to come in if they need to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can stop it if you really want to.
What I do is I like every now and again, like Brianna gets up to go to work at 5 o'clock. So I'm up at 4:30. Sometimes I'm running a little behind, and her toothbrush and stuff is in the bathroom. So she needs to learn sounds. Like if the shower's going, then she's probably okay to, because I don't lock the door. But it's funny, like the other day, this just happened recently. I something told me she's gonna walk in here. So of course I turn around to where my ass is facing the door.
A glass shower?
And
Do you have a glass shower?
It's a shower curtain. I was warming the water up.
Oh, okay.
So she just opens the door, and then all of a sudden that door comes closed really quick. And then but I make sure that my ass is facing out the other way, you know. And then my son, every now and again, if I'm on the weekend, he comes in. he'll be like he'll start to walk in. I said, "You're gonna see my wiener," and then close. That door goes real quick. I think it's funny.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
You're about to see my wiener.
Of parents that have kids that walk in is because we've made ourselves approachable by our kids, where
Yeah.
they're comfortable enough to feel like they can do that. Okay, so on the
Anyway.
wheel, we have sandwiches, beer, comics, disappointment, waiting, smells, and road rage.
okay.
All right, it's time to spin, spin, spin the wheel of mediocrity. We're talking about beer.
This one is easy for me. Beer is
drink it.
disgusting. All beer
like
is
beer.
disgusting.
Oh, I need a beer if we're gonna be talking about beer.
Go get
I'll
one.
look and see if I have any beer. So the only beer we have right now is Guinness Extra Stout.
All right.
Disgusting. That's motor oil. Ugh.
I brought a White Claw because I don't drink beer, and I do.
I've never tried
I
White
have-
Claw.
I've got
I-
Budweiser, and I've got
much rather
Coors
have a
Light in my
Budweiser.
fridge, but I'm not a beer drinker.
I had brisk sweet tea.
I tried this it's 2014, so 8 years ago, and I described it as liquid meat, rotten liquid meat. So we're gonna see what I think now, 8 years later, because you're
Oh my
tasting things every 7
Wait,
years.
that's been in your fridge for 8 years?
No,
Why would you buy it again?
Anthony drinks it
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's what,
occasionally. It's been in there. a
I
while.
can drink Coors Light. Like, I don't like beer. I'm not a fan, but
drink
like
Coors
I
Light.
can drink Coors Light. But when I first moved in, I had
Has
just
a
people
bubble.
over all the time. And I've never been a person that like
See the
hosts.
bubble.
Yeah, I see the bubble. I've never been a person who hosts, so like I don't usually keep beverages in my house, but like everybody was complaining, so I was like, fine, everybody tell me your beverage of choice and I will keep that stock. So now I have like bottled water in my fridge, and I have Budweiser, and I have Coors Light, and I have White Claws, and I have Pepsis in my fridge, and I don't drink any of those because I drink tap water exclusively.
Does Zima still exist?
I'm sure it does.
I love
in some
Zima.
form.
Okay, I'm
All
gonna
right,
try
Smirnoff
this.
we'll
Ice.
see. Yeah.
I'm nervous because it was so gross.
So sorry.
before.
You can
It's
do
gonna
that.
be.
I
It's
have
definitely gonna be gross now.
full
for a
faith.
fact.
Yeah, but I used to not like beer, and now I do like beer. So
That's not beer. That is motor oil.
it's not as bad as I remember it.
You were about to do the whole. What was that movie? Where it was like. Oh, it was Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah,
Drinking a little
it is definitely
grandpa's
stout.
cough medicine.
It's not as
That
bad
is
as
called
I
an ale. That's
wouldn't
called an
consider
ale,
it
ain't it? It's like an
rotten
ale.
liquid meat this time. I would say it's beer that's way too stout. I won't be drinking.
Oh,
that.
I do like apple
Oh, Angry Orchard.
Angry
I love
Orchard. I think
Angry
it's like the
Orchard.
apple. Yeah.
I gotta have a drink of my tea to
Wash it down. I have a friend that has like a
Tupperware cup.
home brewery.
the
and
friend
like,
that I prank. This cup came from her house. It was the
Oh,
cup I
good.
used when I was a little kid.
oh, that's cute. I have a
I
friend
love
who has a brewery, and I've never tried any of the beers because I'm just like, I think I tried them, but I'm always like, he's like, what do you think? And I was like, I don't like beer, so my opinion is not valid.
I think homemade beer tastes a lot better than factory beer.
Yeah.
Because I remember my dad making beer at home, and I'm pretty sure I liked
The
it.
bathtub. Just stirring
Toilet-
it up.
Toilet moonshine.
My stepdad makes wine from muscadines, and it's really good. It is really, really good.
I don't know what those are.
We're
What
supposed to
is
be talking about beer.
muscadine? What is muscadine?
Muscadine, it's kind of like a grape.
Oh, okay. There's
It's
a
got
band that I
tougher
like.
Skin on it than grapes do.
Okay. There's a band that I like that has muscadine in their name, and I wasn't sure. I never knew what it
I
was.
love muscadines. I like to
Yeah.
squeeze them into my mouth, like cut the skin and then squeeze it into my mouth and eat the inside.
Ooh,
Hot.
say it slower.
Love muscadines.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I like Coors Light, Michelob Ultra,
My stepmom drinks Pabst Blue
apple
Ribbon.
ales, most of the fruit ales like peach ale, all those. There's a blueberry beer that I had at, I think, World of Beer is the name of the place in Houston a long time ago. I really liked that.
I don't like sports. I don't like beer. I'm a loser.
One of my friends actually just did a beer game. I can't remember if he said he made it up or
good
not,
beer.
but they essentially took they had like a tabletop checkerboard. So he just has like, it's a blanket and it's just draped over his coffee table. They drank the board. So every time that they drank a beer, they would put it on the board. And over 2 days, they were able to fill up the entire checkerboard with like beer cans and bottles between two of them. I was like, that just sounds horrible. Like, it's like the people that do the 24 cases in 24 hours.
I used to be addicted to Monster.
Yeah.
Like I have shelves above my cabinets that I didn't know what to do with, and they're completely empty now. But I used to have every kind of Monster you can think of wrapped around, like the empty cans.
You were that guy, the
God.
Kansas decor guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And at some point I woke up and I was like, these got to go.
You're like, these are
I know
actual
what it
trash.
was. It was because when my heater would run, there would be some sort of effect where they'd start popping. It would just randomly pop, like the air, the heat and the cold or whatever would make the cans like squish and then open. You know what I mean?
God.
And so like I just got tired of the popping, so I was like, these got to go.
Yeah. That's horrible.
I am not. I really, whenever I redo this place, when I get done remodeling, I want a gay dude to come over here and because I love gay decory.
Just be the gay dude
Decor.
yourself. Did you
Gay
know?
decor.
Did you know that you can just like go online on Pinterest and just like pick one thing you like, and it will just show you more things until you have a whole room put together?
I haven't used Pinterest in years. I know it's amazing, but
You can be your own gay dude.
Just be metrosexual.
It's 2021,
You're
2022.
straight,
You
but
can do
you
whatever you want.
I
like
love
Vaseline.
palette decor, like turning things into like turning palettes into decor. Like I think that's so cool.
Decor. It's not decoys.
Decor.
We're not hunting. We're hunting for
hunting for
new
furniture.
style.
Hunting
Decor.
for style.
Decor.
That's what lesson number 1. Decor.
Decor. Miscellaneous.
Yeah. You got it. But yeah, like
Okay.
that's the thing about like having other people decorate for you is
But
that
it's not you.
it's not you. Like,
Don't
if
ever
you
be
wanna-
in your home.
yeah, like if you want to have monster cans all over, like sure, it's stupid, but if it makes
I
you
want
happy,
movie posters all over my living room.
do
Then
it.
do that.
What
It's your living
posters?
room. You're the one who lives there.
I don't know. I just want movie posters and stuff.
Just get nice frames to put them in.
Yeah, that's the key is like don't thumbtack them up, get frames.
Get nice frames to put them in.
You don't think that would get made fun of by people?
By who? How many people
Yeah,
do you have
who's gonna
coming in and
believe
out
you?
of your house?
Have you guys ever given something to somebody and then 5 minutes later it was like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. I could have used
Yes.
that.
Constantly.
I had a Legend of Zelda replica shield and sword. Like heavy duty sword. Like the sucker was heavy
Why
and it
didn't you
was
give that
big.
to me?
I was gonna say you're gonna have to tell Lindsay who was in possession of it so she can go and take it.
My uncle gave it to me years ago, but it's just been in my garage just sitting there. So when I was going through my big clean, like after the ex moved out and I was getting everything situated, like I was like, you know what? Like Corbin was over, Brianna's boyfriend, and I was like, Corbin, because he's a big nerd. I was like, do you want this? I go, do you know what this is? First, I tested him. I said, do you know what this is? And he goes, oh, it's Legend of Zelda. I was like, all right. Then I knighted him with it. You know, I was like, here, you may. If he didn't know it was Legend of Zelda, he fuck off. He ain't gonna take it. But yes, he took it, and then I was like, I just remembered I was remodeling. I could have hung that in the living room. I was like, fuck.
I have
Oh. But then he went home and hung it up. So I was like, okay, he's
I was gonna say, if he hasn't
so.
hung it up, you should be like, if you don't have anywhere to hang that, it'll still be yours, but you could come hang it in my living room.
He
unless you break up, in which case it stays here.
I said, and if you find out someday that this is worth like $30,000, you keep me in mind.
Yeah,
I mean, this shit was heavy duty. Like, it was literally like I could have used it in a sword fight.
I have a lot of stuff like art prints that I buy for other people, and then I find out like they don't want art prints. So now I'm like, I don't know what to do these, because like I'm not going to throw them out because they're prints from an artist. Like, you can't just throw them out. But yeah, I have like I have a bunch of Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, and for a while I had Supernatural prints, and it was just like, I guess I'll just hang on to these because I don't know what else to do with them. And like the friend that I got the Supernatural prints for, I'm so mad because it's like 4 or 5 years later. Now he's getting into art prints. And I'm like, oh, you bitch.
Good job.
I need to show you guys Savannah's bedroom now. She is, apparently there's a website. I can't remember what it is, but apparently they give, it's a real popular printing website, but they do free 4x4 or 4x7s, something like that. You just have to pay shipping. I don't know how they make money doing this. I have no idea, but it's legit because she's gotten.
My stepmom's used that.
I can't remember what it's called, but anyways, her complete all wrapped around her room is a bunch of little 4x7s of characters and shows that she loves. I'll have to show you. She's so creative.
Thanks everybody for watching.
Thanks.
We will see you next
Bye.
week. Bye.
Bye.
Speaking of, we won't get into politics, but I want you guys to listen to Kid Rock's new song. It is hilarious. It is hilarious. I mean, even if you were a hardcore Republican, it's hilarious.
The craziest part about Kid Rock to me really is just that like he sings about like how he grew up with nothing and in a trailer park and just like, but he was rich. He grew up like. So it's just an interesting, like, he's white trash, but he like chooses to be white trash, which like good for him. Yeah. But it was just
no, seriously, listen to his new song.
I've never ever
listen to his new song. Listen to his new song. Like his old stuff, his like Devil Without a Cause album, amazing.
I've never ever liked Kid Rock.
Oh,
ever.
I don't like the new Kid Rock. I'm not political at all, but I don't. The new Kid Rock is just ridiculous.